So all the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life?
Oh, they didn't try to say anything. They flat out said that they'd rather be by themselves and peaceful than to be with some of the women that are available out there.
I have to disagree.
Of course there would be some women that have to disagree with that statement because they simply cannot bring themselves to believe that many men, especially after seeing what's out there in the dating market, would rather be single, and they're actually happier being so.
I do not think that if a woman that you so desired was available to you, you would choose peace over commitment, good meals with conversation, and things like that. So I'm going to call your bluff.
Some women simply don't get it. Because none of those things that were listed are actually what brings a man peace in a relationship. And if we're being really honest with ourselves, most men can get all of those perks of being in a relationship without actually being in one. So quite frankly, ladies, some of you are going to have to start accepting that men can be happy by themselves. I know that comes as a surprise.
When women make their own money, the last thing they want to do is support a man. Last thing they want to do is support a man.
Believe it or not, no. When women make good money, they don't. When women make money, they don't need a man because they make enough money. They have support.
Okay, repeat that sentence again.
When women make enough money, they don't really need a man.
Okay, say that one more time again.
When
women make what? What did you say? When women make money?
Enough money, they really don't need a man.
You do understand your sentence just defeated your entire argument, right?
No, it didn't. It didn't. But that's what I'm saying. You said women cannot be able to fight off or fend for the household if they couldn't pay rent. But here's the thing: does a man have to work harder, or does the woman have to work harder?
First, I said if a man can't provide, a woman's going to get rid of him. Then you said, oh no, but women can make their own money.
What makes women happy? And I was thinking on the toilet, well, what makes me happy is, unfortunately, or fortunately, the traditional things. And now, had I said that to my 20-year-old self, I would be horrified because I was a good feminist and I fought my way through comedy and I did all the clubs. I'll show you, I'll be the best female comic. And I carried this anger that compelled me for 20 years, right? Mm-hmm. And then I became a mom and I got humbled by illness. And then I was like, okay, so what makes me happy? I know what makes me happy. I can't speak for all women, but is there something to my biology, to my essence? Possibly. Do we know what makes all men happy? I don't.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I think too, it's like it was the male ideal of success that ruined women. It was this idea that in order to become equal, we had to be like you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's the problem. I have to have my career exactly like Tom's. I have to be successful. It's like, this is not going to work for me. This is not going to work because I'm a mother. My body can't keep up with this pace of work. It's not good. And it makes the woman angry, resentful, bitter. And now I'm useless because if my kid can't come for a snuggle and my cat can't come, I'm the center of the home. This is the truth. And it's not pretty to say anymore, but that's what I learned.
And it's so interesting that you touched on power before because we were talking about power and women want to be powerful like men are powerful. Like, women are super powerful.
Just not in the same way.
Just not in the same way.
100%. But yeah, women's lives can be fantastic. If you let the guys just do their own, let them do it.
Here's my hot take, and it's probably going to piss a lot of you off. Men only want to be fed and left alone. And the reason that they get mad is because at least one of three of these things is not happening.
12 seconds later.
I'm laughing at myself because I just rewatched that video and wow. I'm too evolved for because in this moment, I am realizing that I have a lot of work to do around hating men. And who would have thought that if I want men to respect me, I need to respect them as well.
Here's my hot take that might ruffle some feathers. She is only scratching the surface, and absolutely she's right in that she needs to do a ton of work at dismantling her hate for men. But it is not just that men need respect. Like, absolutely they need that. Like, I think that is a human decency, like, basic for anybody. But what the man needs that you're wanting to be in a relationship with is for you to understand men, for you to understand him. And that historically is what women struggle with the most, because what it takes from women is not always being right, taking accountability, saying I'm sorry, and putting the relationship needs beyond your own personal gain. That is what most women struggle with, even women that already respect men as a whole. Unfortunately, the men that come along and try to help her in the healing process, those are the guys that are like most likely the really good guys. They are genuine and they are patient and they are loyal. Unfortunately, those are the guys that end up getting the most hurt, and that is what's really messed up.
Men love deep. Women are long suffering. Women don't know that men love deep. And that is why, and what women don't recognize is that men are actually more loyal than women are. We exhibit this in our purchasing behavior. A woman will purchase, even if the hair product that she bought worked beautifully for her, she can't help it but to try another beauty product. If a man finds a body soap that works for him, he is going to have that body for the next 20 years. Yeah. Very loyal, very consistent. It's not that men don't have the capacity to do so. Of course, there's conditioning and social, inferences and learnings that we need. But the point is that it's possible. It is there. We just don't recognize it. So because men are stoic and because men say things like we want respect, we believe, first off, women don't even know what that means tangibly. What respect, what does that look like? And second of all, men actually crave emotional intimacy and connection. But public facing will say respect. But when you really begin to break down respect, there's an emotional tension, connection to that, right? There's this, he disrespected me. Your feelings are hurt. You feel hurt. But we don't want to say that, so we'll say respect. So it becomes nuanced for a woman. You're not going to get respect from her because she doesn't understand that there's an emotional connection and intimacy. But if you speak in her language and say emotional intimacy and connection, you will feel respected. You understand?
Y'all say every woman is beautiful, but then you turn around and say most men are ugly. Why is it that women get mad when ugly men approach them? Y'all bash women for dating men that y'all find unattractive, and y'all hate the idea of sharing a good-looking man. But y'all claim men and women are equal. But let me just break this down for y'all real quick. If the majority of men are ugly and y'all only want the attractive ones, that means most of y'all are gonna fight over the same man. Or you'll end up settling for ones you claim you don't want. Y'all can't keep screaming equality, then act like average or unattractive men don't deserve love too. Because if all women are beautiful, then so are all men, right? Or are y'all only body positive when it benefits you?
You know what's funny is a lot of these modern women, they are saying, the words are coming out of their mouth, but it's almost as if they don't understand what they're saying. They don't understand. One of the ladies was like, so you'd rather choose peace over relationships? If I choose peace over relationships, that means I'm not getting peace in my relationship. That's a problem. If I can't find any happiness, any joy, any peace in my relationship, it's only sorrow, headache. That's what I'm saying. And that's why y'all keep on running into the wrong men, because y'all keep on going back into relationships, messing around with bozos and idiots, losers who you should have left alone. And then you be like, why didn't nobody help me? Why didn't nobody protect me? Idiot. You shouldn't even been in that relationship in the first place.
Yeah, I would take a look at a profile like this if we were still doing the pop the balloons. I'd be like, yo, no, stay away. You put cheeks on the internet and you got the serpent tattoos behind it. No.
I keep seeing this discourse on TikTok about single moms and dating single moms and who doesn't want to date single moms and, oh, you're not worthy and all this stuff. Blah, blah, blah. As a former single mom of 2 kids with 2 baby daddies, I have the room to say what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Every time you have another kid by another man or multiple kids by multiple men, your dating pool of men that will take you serious and want to date you, to marry you, and see you as a wifey prospect and see you as somebody they want to build their life with and take serious gets smaller. It does. And that's just bottom line, period, end of story, end of discussion, no argument. And that's hard.
What's interesting is that what doesn't decrease at the same rate is the amount of dudes that are willing to go deep inside you. So it in fact sends mixed signals to these baby mamas, these single moms, that they think that they are ranked the same in the dating marketplace because their rate of dudes attempting hasn't gone down.
There's so much more to why people don't want to date single moms. The fucking baggage, the mental baggage, the emotional, physical, financial, like there's so much fucking baggage.
This is refreshing.
A lot of single moms come from fucked up, mentally, emotionally draining, traumatic relationships and aren't healed. And that in itself is baggage. Is baggage. Trauma is baggage. All that stuff, trust issues, being cheated on, it's baggage. It's baggage. And a lot of us don't take the time to heal.
Your baggage, your trauma is the antithesis of being able to go along. And not even just that, but think of the added financial hurdles. Think of the fact that she's prioritizing her children, which is great for the children, which is what I think that she should be doing. But you will remain second fiddle in that relationship, or third, or fourth, depending upon how many kids that she's got.
When I got with my man, I used to tell him all the time, are you sure? Are you sure you want to date a single mom? I got 2 baby daddies, 1 weird one, 1 psychotic one. I'm good. Like, I don't need your money. I pay my own bills, whatever the case may be. I take care of my kids, all that. I got my own career. I got my own education. But are you sure? And for the first 6 months, I would always ask him, are you sure? Are you sure? We're 2 years in now. I'm pretty sure he's sure at this point. But you know what I'm saying? Like, even I, as a single mom, always have to think, like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Because even I, not being delusional, but being self-aware, understand that this is a lot. This is a lot for somebody. Like, this is a lot for me, and it's my situation, and I'm going through it. So imagine.
Let's just say he was 100%. I have the best relationship that has ever existed in the existence of relationships. What rational...
Women aren't rational.
No, hold on. Women are not irrational.
Women aren't rational. That's the reality. And look, and you may not like what I'm saying, women are not rational. Women are the only people that will get upset at you for giving them what they want. A woman will want a man who has, I want a man who's wealthy, who's affluent. She gets that. They get married, and now she's complaining about time. Right? Now he gives her a time.
But and now she didn't know what she wanted.
Wait, and now... You just hit it right.
No.
Know what they want.
Wait, but not knowing what you want and irrational is not the same thing.
And then wait. And now he gives her time. Now he puts work aside. Now he's home all the time. Oh, he's home too much. Why are you always home? This is what men deal with on the regular. This is something that I've. This is something.
So men don't do what do?
No, and I'm not saying this is.
Men be doing a lot of stuff.
Men do, and I'm not saying we don't. But what I'm telling you is, this is something that I've learned to accept about women. I'm not saying it like it's a jab or it's a detriment. Once again, I speak to how God designed us, and I've learned that this is how God has designed y'all. You understand? And y'all are the only ones. And this is. I always say, a man's job is to provide and protect. And the number one thing you have to protect a woman from is herself. That's the reality.
Maybe it is. So do it. Maybe it's the truth.
That's the reality.
You guys think after
we have a long list of jobs too.
You think after all this time?
No, I'm not complaining.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm stating it as a fact. The future faking, you should be able to be punished because, look, you walk into a casino. You might win, you might lose. If you lose, you're not able to sue the casino. But if you walked in knowing that you were going to cheat the casino, right?
Right.
Then they have the right to punish you however they wish because your intent.
Yes,
it's about
exactly.
Intent. Your intent was malicious.
But also, I'm sorry, but I'm not. You can't sue. You can't take legal action. I mean,
there's no way to prove it.
No, right. But also, allowing someone to take that many years of your time is also your own. Because I'm just
you got to be accountable.
You got to start waking up.
You got to take the L.
But wait. But then again, y'all saw Lorenz Tate in Menace to Society. People are great actors. I really thought he was O-Dog. People are great actors.
That would be her intent then. That would go towards her intent if she was acting the whole time.
No, but what I'm saying is, so yes, I totally do agree that people have to take a level of accountability for what they allow, but some people are amazing actors. actor.
They are. I will agree with
Some people are amazing. Look, man, like, they have dinner with your family and your mother's like, oh my God, you got to marry this guy. Like, some people are amazing actors. Or you got to marry this woman. Some people are amazing actors, you know? So although fault does fall on the back of the victim to a degree, but I'm just saying that some people are great actors, man.
So stop acting like you want to be alone. You don't have a choice. And I hate when a says, oh, I'm single by choice. No, you're not. You're single by choices. You're single by the choices that you make. You chose to have multiple kids with multiple. That's why you're single. You chose to hang out with single, bitter bitches. That's why you're single. You chose to stay in a relationship with a. Now you are traumatized for life because of that. That's why you're single. All of these are choices. Okay, you're not choosing to be single. And for you that want to convince me and anybody else that you can have any man you want, where is he? Go get him. Exactly. You over here choosing to work on your career and focus on your career rather than focusing on building a healthy relationship with somebody. That's why you're single. By choices, not by choice. Stop acting like you want to be alone. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of men that suck.
Which would imply all men.
Majority of men suck.
A majority of men suck.
I'm still
really.
prepared when you say majority, what percent?
If I'm being generous, 60 to 70%.
Well, let's not be generous. Let's be realistic.
65.
I'd probably agree with 65%.
65% of men suck.
Yeah.
What about our trash? What
I would
percentage?
say 65.
Still 65? What about you?
Like our absolute trash, maybe like 50.
Are you against sexism?
Yeah.
Is sexism wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you against sexism?
I'm against sexism and I think it's wrong.
How about this? If a man were to say, majority of women suck, women are trash, would you object to that categorization?
Yeah, I'd ask him why he feels that way.
So, great. Now, but do you believe you guys are being sexist towards men?
No, because I think that sexism is based on the historic oppression of a group of people, and since men have historically not been oppressed, I don't think you can be sexist towards them.
Educated women are not the women you want to be with.
Hey, I'm single because I've been married 3 times. Educated women are not the women to be with. Educated women. They are smart. They're good. Yeah. They're good people. I'm not saying anything bad about that, but educated women, their profession, they tend to look at that more than a relationship. When they go to work, they bow to the man that's paying the money. They listen to everything he says, but when they go home, the man at home, they tend to argue with.
If you were in the 50s, you would have thrived.
Oh, absolutely.
See, now,
no, not really, because I'm too dark.
And I really like the conversation, and shout out to Say Well Reactions. That's what men are running into. Modern women who don't have any respect for their husband at home. They'll go to the job site. The man can talk to them as crazy as really, honestly and truly, it don't matter who it is. I don't even got to be the boss. Talk to them as crazy as, well, I'm just getting paid. I'm just here to get a paycheck, right? But when you leave, those benefits stop, literally, when you leave. And you have to work for those benefits, right? And I'm not just talking about health insurance. I'm talking about, your protection is your money. I have money to do these things, to go out, to live in this house, and all of these things. That's your protection. What you don't understand is your man is your protection outside of that. So you want him to have a job. You want him to cook and clean. You want him to be your shoulder to cry on when you don't have a job, when your job is acting crazy with you. And believe me, it will, when your car is acting up, when your friends are acting up, when your mom and your daddy is acting up. If you don't have a mom and you don't have a dad, there's somebody in your family that you're connected with and you're close to that's going to be acting up. And if you don't, I'm just alone, I'm this and that. Everybody got problems in their life. And guess who they look for? My spouse, my significant other, the person that I'm with, to understand me and help me make sense of the world. That's who I lean on. That's who I depend on. So he's got a bigger responsibility. Even though that job is paying you, he's got a bigger responsibility. And a lot of times, modern women, like you said, they sit up there and argue with him. Sit up there and talk crazy to him. Talk sideways to him. Oh, I ain't gotta respect you. You ain't paying me. I might not be paying you monetarily, but I'm paying you with my resources. I'm paying you with my time. I'm paying you with my energy. I'm paying you with the sacrifice of my life. Should somebody kick in that door and I gotta go downstairs. Babe, call the police. I'm going downstairs. A lot of times men don't even have time to think. They're expected to get up and just go do it. That's what he's paying you with. Blind sacrifice. I just got to go out there and do it. But you don't want to say, you don't want to hear him say, hey, would you mind making me a sandwich and chips? God forbid he say that.
So the disrespect I see some of y'all women take in the name of being a girl's girl is insane. Few discretion is advised.
Tweet says, scared of getting in a relationship because what if it works out and I'll never be single again? I'm almost scared to get into a relationship for real because I don't not want to be single. I want my autonomy. I want to be able to do what I want to do. I want to be able to gaslight you niggas every now and then. I want to be able to do everything that I want to do. Yeah.
To have this kind of a take is so odd to me because being in a relationship is not mandatory. There's no law. There's no one that can force you. Nothing. It is literally a decision. That's like me coming on here complaining about having to move to Pakistan, knowing I don't have to do it. Literally, there's no law that is going to force me to move to Pakistan. It is simply a decision. Shorty really got on here and said she's scared to be in a relationship because she doesn't not want to be single. Ma'am, is your brain functioning properly? Like, is everything firing on all cylinders the way it should? Because you do know you can be single for as long as you want. As long as you want. There is literally no threat to your singlehood. You are in 100% control on being in a relationship or not being in a relationship. And to think she got on a platform and said this with her whole chest. What be wrong with some of y'all? And y'all want me to believe this generation of women is the most educated of all time? You gotta be kidding me.
And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I look at you and your relationship and it feels limiting to me. And it might not feel limiting to you, but for where I am and on my journey and like where I am and being single, I couldn't imagine being like, oh, let me tell him.
And to think in the name of friendship, you sat on this platform and allowed that woman to disrespect your relationship that you chose to be in because she's on a different path in life. If it's one thing that scares me most about female friendships, I don't understand the moral code. I don't know what code they actually follow. Every female group has a completely different code. I'll be damned my homeboy would ever say something like that to me just because he's on a different path in life. Like, yeah, bro, I love being single. I love being outside and doing my own thing and gaslighting women. And sometimes I look at you like, I feel sorry for you, bro. What? He'd be lucky if I don't swing on him right in that moment. Are you crazy? I chose to be here because I want to be here. I'm enjoying myself in this relationship. It is not your place to criticize my relationship in a situation that has nothing to do with you. No one is telling you to be in a relationship. You don't have to. You know what? I think sometimes I get a little too ahead of myself and I care too much about certain topics. And I'm like, there's no way I could be on a podcast platform and be disrespected in this manner and just be letting them go off and say they you crazy. It's unfortunate that this woman does not even realize she's being blatantly disrespected. Not only directly, but her friend is also disrespecting her relationship and her decision making. And fellas, we got to be careful on who our women call friends, because if she got one of these in her corner, it's a good chance your relationship ain't gonna make it. But you know what? Fortunately for y'all, you ain't gotta listen to nothing I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
Do you know why I say it's all men?
Do tell. How are we going to rationalize generalizing an entire population of people today?
Because the men that are like, it's not all men, they always prove that they're part of the problem.
So some men are showing that they're problematic. What a novel revelation that must be. But most reasonable people actually do understand that there are problematic individuals in every demographic. Although what those individuals do understand that others seem to not is that just because there are some members of the group that act in a certain way that makes the rest of them look bad doesn't mean that it's justifiable to generalize that entire demographic. For instance, there are some women that do not seem to know how to form a rational and logical argument. However, that does not mean it's a justification to say that all women are irrational and overly emotional. See how that works? So if you can't say that you would justify generalizing all women based on the actions of some, why exactly would you justify generalizing all men?
Do you know why I say it's all men?
Do tell. How are we going to rationalize generalizing an entire population of people today?
Because the men that are like, it's not all men, they always prove that they're part of the problem.
So some men are showing that they're problematic. What a novel revelation that must be. But most reasonable people actually do understand that there are problematic individuals in every demographic. Although what those individuals do understand that others seem to not is that just because there are some members of the group that act in a certain way that makes the rest of them look bad doesn't mean that it's justifiable to generalize that entire demographic. For instance, there are some women that do not seem to know how to form a rational and logical argument. However, that does not mean it's a justification to say that all women are irrational and overly emotional. See how that works? So if you can't say that you would justify generalizing all women based on the actions of some, why exactly would you justify generalizing all men?
Men saying, I've just decided altogether to avoid women, that it's better to be single, guys. They're almost like happy about the fact that they're gonna make the choice to avoid the entire gender of women because they have yet to actually resolve the war they have within themselves.
It is not because they're fighting a war within themselves. It is because they found peace with themselves. And she was so close. She was just so close to getting there because at least she's recognizing what men are saying. Because they're tired of the complaining, the double standards, the expectations, and the risk of losing everything that they've built. There is no unresolved internal war going on in these men. He just found peace and contentment on his own instead of using that energy and effort on someone else.
And a lot of women lack accountability. There's a lot of women who you will sit down and ask her, like, hey, like in your last relationship, like what role did you play in it going wrong?
Right.
And she'll look you in the eyes and say nothing. I did what I was supposed to do. He cheated.
Yeah.
Or I did what I was supposed to do. He neglected me.
Yeah. That right there, what you said, a lot of women lack accountability. No. And I can say a lot of men lack accountability. How about we address the men lacking your emotional state?
I think what you're doing is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because again, I never said that men don't lack accountability. When you said it, I nodded. Yep, you're right. A lot of men do. But just the mere mention of a woman having something to work on made you feel away. Tell a woman that she needs to work on something, or you tell a woman that she's doing something wrong, automatically go into defense. Yeah, they may be wrong too, and we'll get to that. But right now, we on you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't spin it back in my moment of telling you what you need to work on. And a lot of women do that.
I can see now why men pull away emotionally, because it just happened to me today, and I got to see from a man's point of view what it's like to date a woman sometimes. This is no shade towards women in any way, because I'm a woman. I completely understand, and I'm sure I do this as well. But it was funny because I came home, me and my sister lived together, and as soon as I get in the house, she just starts bitching at me about things that she wished I was doing, like cleaning the cat's litter box, setting up certain appointments, whatever it was, around the house. And then all of a sudden I was thinking, like, no wonder I always just go to my room. Like, I don't want to be around you when as soon as they come into the door, you're just kind of nagging. What I was realizing is women do this all the time. We emotionally need to regulate. Like, there are certain times that you say, okay, if I want to actually get my partner to do something for me, because all that did is made me want to pull away and be like, you, I'm not going to do it. And I can understand why men never do what you want them to do. You're like, I've told you a million times to do this. I've told you to do this. And you're like, why can't I get him to do things? Because you're not saying it in the best way.
If you really just believe that men are valid in their experience and in their emotions, for example, when they say that they don't want to be bombarded the second that they walk in the door from work, believe them that that is a valid thing, that they should have some downtime the second that they walk in the door. Unfortunately, not all women get this, and they actually will either one, have to experience it themselves like this woman did, or two, they just will never get it. And they're going to be fighting this constant battle of pretending like what men want and their feelings are not valid, and that men are just always the ones in the wrong. And the truth is that the man of the last woman deserves better.
And it's funny because she was like, I got to see it from a man's point of view, And that's exactly the problem now, isn't it? A lot of these modern women out here are not, will not, don't want to see it from a man's point of view. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in what I want to see. And quiet as kept, a lot of these modern women do actually understand the man's point of view. They actually do understand what's going on. They just do not care enough. That's it. I will start to care And this is why there's a lot of men that stay in relationships, because like I said, in some other commentary, modern women, they're going to take care of themselves, right? They're at all costs, I'm going to choose myself. So to the extent that it takes me to make sure my world is secure, I'm going to take care of you. And so a man is going to think, oh, well, she likes me, so I'm going to stay with her. I don't necessarily think it don't seem like she likes me like that, but it's kind of confusing because she's showing me more attention or more affection than most of the other women that I've been with. So I kind of keep on staying with her, but I'm not 100% sure that she actually likes me, like full on likes me. She's not going all out for me like I am for her. And men nowadays, instead of getting into that type of relationship or situation, they just back up and say, I'm not going to keep on guessing. If they like me, they like me, and they better start showing it. Not with just, oh, I love you, but with your actions, you better start showing it. And that's the point that we come to now. But man, I now understand. Wow. I mean, not looking at it from a man's point of view, I understand why men say the things that they say and why they're not helping out. Well, how long did it take you to figure that out? How long did it take you to get to that realization? That's what I'm saying, man. Modern women don't be looking at anybody else or thinking about anybody else outside of themselves.
Over 50% of women over 40 are on antidepressants. Let that sink in. Half of an entire generation of women medicated just to cope with life. And no, this is not just about a chemical imbalance. It's about what's really happening to women.
I've waited for my husband for so many years, and I'm just getting mad, and I'm about to turn 40. There's a lot of stress on me right now.
So a lot of my single mom friends have been like, oh, I'm so depressed. And I'm like, well, have you gotten laid recently? And they're like, well, no. And I'm like, well, bingo.
I'm 38 years old. I've never been married. I've never had children. I have 3 cats in my house.
I'll be 41 next week. And yeah, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to really tell you this shit. So after the age of basically like 32, that is when you're just going to date people that are coming off of divorce.
I am 50 years old and I have never been married and I don't have kids. And I know that some people think that is a red flag.
I'm 45 and child-free and I regret not having children.
No, I'm not the only person that feels this way. I'm turning 40 next year and I'm single with no children.
You ever have those days at work where you wish you would have married that attorney when you were 27 years old for his children?
Anybody else struggling with dating after their 40s?
Are there any men left out there in this entire universe that prefers a woman in her 40s with a natural body?
No one tells you just how lonely your 40s can be.
I do get very triggered around going to my brother's at Christmas and all the kids being there and I'm the only single person there, and I've started feeling, I mean, he doesn't know this, but I feel I can't help it, and it brings me shame.
The reason a lot of these women are not being tugged at by men in any way, shape, or form is because guys don't like their energy. Guys don't like what they're prioritizing. Guys don't like that they, yes, have this long roster of guys before them because they spent their 20s, just loose as could be. Guys don't like that they're boss babes. Guys don't like their boss babe energy. Guys don't like that if they have a child, they're not going to want to stay home. Guys don't like that, they have a boatload of guy friends that are like my friends, aka my backups. Guys don't like a lot of stuff that women in these cities are doing, right? So they're not interested. And just because you deem women as meeting all of your requirements as a woman doesn't mean they're meeting the guy's requirements, because women are now optimizing themselves for themselves, not to attract.
When Kevin Samuels passed, people like Vivica Fox, like literally dance in the street, jump for joy, like this man had committed a crime, had he somebody or did a heinous crime to things. And it was just so remarkable to me that they were celebrating another black man that had committed no crime. Why do you think that Kevin's was so celebrated from feminists?
It's because they're feminists. They were all of the hit dogs hollering. You didn't see happily married black women celebrating his death. You didn't see women who were happy in their relationship celebrating his death. It was all of the women who were the women that he was talking about. All of the delusional women, all of the single baby mothers, all of the women who had chose poorly. They got with a Pookie or Ray Ray, and then they were 38, 40 years old, 2 kids, no money, out there looking for the next man that make $250,000. And then they're like, oh, why can't I get it? Why don't I deserve it? So they felt like, you know, he was bringing too much attention to it, to their delusion and the fact that they're not going to get what they're looking for. They don't like that. They don't like accountability. Accountability feels like oppression to people who've never been held accountable. So that's why they feel that way. They're like, who is this man that's so oppressive and he hates women and he's misogynistic? And then they start, you know, they got to do all the things. They call you all, every name in the book, every term in the book when you start highlighting the things that they say wrong. You got to be misogynistic. You got to be, or they just talk about your appearance, or you ugly, you mad, you can't get no chicks. It's all the nonsense that they talk about. So it was all the women who were mad that he was talking about them. And he didn't say nothing wrong. He just like, yo, hold yourself accountable. If you 250 pounds, 300 pounds, how you expect to get a man that's making $300,000 a year? And why should he just be faithful to you?
Free game.
That's the truth.
Game alert. It's the truth. They hated him for telling the truth. And you know, I'm 43 years old, and still to this day, I still do not understand what women's quarrel with accountability is. It seems like it's literally kryptonite to them.
Interesting people to come on my podcast. I need some interesting people to come on my show. You got a story to tell. You got a product to promote. You got an album releasing or a single. Hey, man, come on the Ugly Money Podcast. One of the biggest podcast platforms in the Southeast. It's bigger than radio. I do more views than TV. You definitely want to tap in. Just DM me the word interview. Pound sign interview. Don't come broke. But no, you know what I'm saying? Let's go viral. It's like this clip right here that you just seen. Yeah. See, it could have been you. You was playing. You about 3-5 with me. Capping like it's...
Okay, let's talk. A lot of women want a masculine man, but then you all show up in the relationship acting like his competition, not his counterpart. You say you want a leadership, presence, effort, protection, but your energy blocks every single thing you say you want. So let me break this down real quick, because if you can't embody these 5 traits, you're not calling in masculine energy, you're repelling it. Number 1. Receptivity. Girl, let him show up. Some of you want a man to lead, but you argue with him every time he tries. You want him to plan, but you reject every suggestion. A man doesn't rise where he's micromanaged. He rises where he's received. Second, emotional softness. Listen, hyper-independence looks glamorous on Instagram, but in real life, men don't fall for hardness. They fall for warmth. Softness isn't about crying in the corner. It's the vibe, the way you talk to him, the way you look at him, the way you open up without making him feel like he's walking into a fire zone. Softness doesn't make you weak. It makes you magnetic. Third, appreciation. Here's a secret men don't tell you. They notice everything you appreciate and everything you don't. You don't have to throw a parade. Just acknowledge the effort. Men are simple. What gets appreciated gets repeated. What gets criticized gets deleted. If you want consistency, you better recognize effort, because no man keeps pouring into a woman who acts like it's bare minimum. Number 4, emotional accountability. And this one separates grown women from emotional toddlers. Your triggers, your wounds, your past hurt, that's your homework. A man cannot fix pain he didn't cause. And when you throw emotional chaos at him every time you're overwhelmed, you're being irresponsible. Accountability sounds like, I'm upset, but I know this isn't all on you. This is my trigger, not your disrespect. Men don't run away from emotions. They run away from blame. Number 5, respect. The one thing that turns a man from I'm here for a good time to I'm here for the long term. Respect doesn't mean yes, sir. Respect his tone. Respect is not talking to him sideways. Respect is not emasculating him because you're annoyed. Respect is not comparing him to other men, like a TikTok trend. By the way, stop doing that. If you can't speak to him with respect when you're mad, he'll never trust you with his heart when he's soft. Respect is the entry point to his masculinity. Not beauty, not vibes, respect. Feminine energy isn't about dresses, makeup, or being girly. It's about your emotional posture. Your softness invites his strength. Your receptivity invites his leadership. Your appreciation invites his consistency. Your accountability invites his vulnerability. Your respect invites his commitment. And if you're not getting masculinity from him, check the energy you're giving.
You'll often hear women say, oh, he fumbled me. A lot of y'all weren't fumbled. Y'all were dropped on purpose. Because somewhere along the line, women started believing that simply being pretty, having a job, or being desired makes you a prize. But that's not how this works. A prize is rare, valuable, hard to replace. A lot of y'all think that a man lost the moon when he walked away from you, but you brought nothing but attitude, jealousy, entitlement, no accountability, no peace, no femininity, no emotional control, but somehow he fumbled you? No. He finally saw through that performance. He saw how that independent baddie was hiding behind insecurity, lack of respect. So he left. That's not a fumble, that's a correction. We gotta stop acting like a man loses something every time he walks away. Sometimes he dodges a bullet. Listen, this doesn't mean that men are perfect. This doesn't mean that every breakup is your fault. But the problem is that women aren't doing the self-work, but they're expecting men to treat them as if they had.
And it was funny because I was listening to that excerpt from Lauren, and then you had other women. You talk about what the future looks like for women. 50% of women over 39, they're on antidepressants and a lot of this other stuff. And you really don't want to make light of it. You don't want to say, see, that's what you get. But I think what's happening there is what's happening with a lot of different people. A lot of people, men and women. Life is hard. It's rough. It's brutal. And a lot of modern women are made to think, don't worry about that. I can go through life alone without a man, only to come out there and be like, oh shoot, this is a little bit harder than I thought it was. This is a little bit more intense than I thought it was. Let me keep on going on. And they go on for another 2 or 3 years and be like, man, this is really hard. It don't seem like I'm making any progress. That's because you're not really making any progress at all. You're doing it on your own. It's an uphill battle, and you're not really doing a lot to help yourself out. That's what's happening, right? And that's what men are saying. And you say, oh, I gotta go talk to my therapist. I need this, and that. Okay, we'll put you on some medicine to help you feel better. And that's really all they know how to do, right? Because that's really all you want. And I feel like this is a much deeper issue, but that's really all you want, is to be medicated. I just want to feel better. So give me something to feel better. And I'll keep on going on about my life. You get deeper and deeper and deeper into stuff that you have no business being in. You had no business going down that way in the first place. Modern women keep on doing that because the world tells them you don't need no man, you don't need no help. Go find some friends, go travel. This is only a temporary state of mind. You'll be good. Go get a drink, go put on a nice skimpy dress, go out there and dance the night away, and tomorrow you'll be right as rain. You'll be good as new. And it is that way for maybe like a day or two. But then you keep on, I gotta go out again. I gotta put something on again. Well, I wore this to the club last weekend. I gotta go get something else. So now you gotta spend more money. You gotta work a little bit harder. You go into an endless cycle. I'm strong independent. I'm trying to be strong and independent. When this guy gonna send me my man? I just need some help. And that's the thing. When you get that man, and that man's gonna take care of a lot, then you're gonna say, oh, now I don't need you. I'm revived again. I'm restored again. I've had some time to think. I've had some time to get this off my shoulders. And now I'm going to start acting a fool. You divorce him. You go back out there doing the same thing. And now you're looking for another man. And you never take accountability for what you've done in relationships. And you're pretty enough, body looks good enough to get you a second husband. But the cycle's going to repeat itself. It's going to continue to repeat itself because modern women do not know how to act. Like I said, this is what the future looks like for 50% of women that are 39 and over.